I'm Zoe Delahunty-Light, I'm a cult leader, and I love it. My cult is filled with anthropomorphic animals, vampiric weapons, and takes place entirely within the indie hit Cult of the Lamb, a mix of roguelike combat and a cult management simulator. That odd blend works so well that it's astonishing to me that we've been deprived of such a game for so long, and considering you're watching this video, I'm hoping you fellow cult leaders feel the same way. Every cult leader needs some strange thing whispering tips into their ear, so I humbly present my services. Here are 15 Cult of the Lamb tips every cult leader should know. The biggest tip I can give is that you should focus on your cult over combat. Your cult determines how powerful your runs are, so it really is crucial to set your cult up so it can sustain itself while you're away. Do this by creating a cult where everything is accounted for at the beginning of the day, and yes, that does involve you doing chores. Cook food ready for followers to eat as soon as they wake up, especially 2-star and up food. Those 2 and up stars means that it's extra nourishing, and as thanks, your followers will give you resources as soon as they've consumed it. Clean your cult of poop and vomit, so glamorous having your own cult, isn't it? Clean the outhouse if you have one, harvest any crops, and maybe go do a quick ritual to boost faith before you leave for a foray into the realms of the old faith bishops. Make sure your faith stays high, because when it goes downhill fast. Although it's tempting to indoctrinate followers as soon as possible and customize their tiny, cute little faces, hold on. Before you indoctrinate new followers, make sure there's enough beds for them all to sleep in. If you don't, your faith will go down by 20 as soon as they're part of your cult, as there's nowhere for them to sleep. Not good. I don't know why this is, but I've noticed that when my followers are about to go and defecate in the wilderness, they tend to bring a resource with them, like stone or something. This could be a bug, or it could be unrelated, but if you see a follower walking out into the bushes with something in their hands, they're about to go poop, and you're gonna want to clean up after them. The highest priority early on should be unlocking the fire in front of your idol, as having one will increase the devotion generated by your followers. This fire can be powered by grass, which is a very handy use for all that grass you'll inevitably have before you get the Grass Eater doctrine, and I'm going to explain that more in just a bit. Remember that this fire increases the passion of your followers, so if you see flames in their eyes when they're worshipping you, don't panic. It's just to show that the fire has enough fuel and is burning. Considering devotion powers the buildings you can craft and therefore the reliability of your faith, thus keeping dissenters at bay who can really mess things up, it's crucial that you harvest as much devotion as possible. Lumber is also really important early on and is surprisingly hard to come by, so focus on setting up a lumber mine ASAP. By the way, lumber and stone mines will eventually break, so prepare yourself to replace them every so often. Build a missionary station as soon as possible, as you're only one small cult leader, and despite having a trapped god behind you urging you on, you can't do everything yourself. Missionaries allow you to send followers out to collect resources like meat, gold, lumber, stone, seeds, and more followers. If one follower is causing trouble, instead of putting them in prison or letting them run amok, you should send them on a mission. I did this with someone who was stirring up drama all the time, and I stopped getting their drama-stirring quests, so it was a win-win. Don't fuss about crafting decorations unless they're linked to follower quests, as they're a waste of resources early on when you need to conserve your resources as much as possible. Yes, that even goes for grass, and I'll tell you why. Doctrines are powerful as hell, or as the god bequeathing you such power, and the best one I've unlocked is Grass Eater. Grass Eater can be found in the Sustenance 2 section, and I advise you strongly to choose it, as it gives followers the Grass Eater trait. Now they're not nearly as fussy about the grass content of their food, and can eat grass gruel without any loss of faith. Destroy as much grass as me on my combat runs, and you'll have more of that vegetable, herb, leaf matter thing than you know what to do with. And it also keeps your followers from starving, which is always a bonus. only give gifts to followers who are worth it. Yeah, I know that sounds harsh, but you want to reap the biggest benefits possible. Each gift usually has some special bonuses attributed to it which they confer onto the wearer, so make sure to check each follower's traits so you're making the most of whatever qualities they have. Someone who works 10% harder, for example, would best benefit from the necklace that means you never have to sleep, as they can keep toiling on into the night while everyone else is sleeping, and you can make most of that extra 10%. Tithing is a devotion you can unlock, and it doesn't make your cult members hate you as I thought it would. Unlike yours truly, I guess they're not very materialistic. As well as blessing each and every one once a day to get that extra loyalty, make sure to tithe them too for free gold, which they have no qualms about giving up to you. I'm sure you'll take very good care of all those funds. Early on, before you have the makeshift hospital bay of sorts, you'll have loads of red flowers in your inventory as you pick them up when you're out fighting. I know it's tempting, but do not sell them or get rid of them. You can use these flowers later on to heal your followers of any sickness immediately, meaning they don't have to go on bed rest and be out of action for days. Pair these flowers with the brainwash ritual and you've got yourself a perky, high cult who won't have a rough come down from all those mushrooms. Sacrifice elderly cult members rather than the young and energetic. Yeah, that sounds harsh, but I have my reasons. Once your followers become old, which you can spot because they'll be in a white robe and walking slowly, they can't work. Whereas sacrificing them rewards followers with loyalty, which means they level up, which means they're better at being missionaries, which means you get more resources. If you sacrifice younger members of your cult, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot as you then lose someone who can help out. But if you sacrifice someone elderly... Look, I'm not this heartless in real life, I promise. Remember to return to the other locations on the map where you have devotees to harvest the devotion waiting there for you. It's not a lot, granted, but hey, it's free devotion. On to combat. Always be moving on your runs. A huge amount of enemies in Cult of the Lamb rush you as part of their attacks, so don't stop or those enemies will find you and collide with you. Your role is powerful and fast and you should 100% exploit it. If you see the red crown shrine on your runs, always aim for it. There you can pray to keep all your items upon your death, your martyrdom, instead of losing a portion of them. Pair this shrine with the diseased heart fleece and you're in a very sweet spot. That fleece comes with diseased hearts at the beginning of every run, which explode and deal damage to everything on screen as soon as you get hit. But the downside of that fleece is that you lose 100% of your items if you die. Find a red crown shrine, however, and you get the perks without any of the negatives. Focusing to return to your cult is an ability you can unlock too, which also negates the negatives of the fleece as you can get out of runs before you die. Destroy anything and everything around merchants that you meet on your runs. Yes, even the worms. This'll get you gold, resources, and meat, good slabs of meat, which are reasonably rare. The merchants themselves are invulnerable, so you might as well. Destroy everything is good advice anyway, as even something as simple as grass is useful for fueling fires. And that's 15 Cult of the Lamb tips every cult leader should know. I am loving Cult of the Lamb and am always up for hearing other strategies people have to please their dark god below as much as possible, so do you have any tips for Cult of the Lamb that I've missed? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, thanks very much, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Eurogamer as we have a new video out every single day. Now, I'm going to go and keep playing Cult of the Lamb because I may be addicted to it and I may also need to go take care of a dissident in our midst, so I'll see you next time.